So we'll chant the prayers. Uh, we'll chant the prayers at the beginning, and we're going to continue our discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is. And today we are on the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita uh, that will complete today. Next week will be six. Yeah, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So today we are on the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Uh, so here Arjuna, in the fifth chapter, he asks Krishna whether the path of renunciation or the path of action is better for him. He clarifies the same question that he had in third chapter, kind of a similar one. Arjuna puts forth in the fifth chapter after he has heard the Divya Jnana, where Krishna has spoken about his greatness, devotional service to him, so working for him. Maybe audio settings. So Krishna again will reply that both paths are good, but that the path of Nishkama Karma is better and more direct. Hmm? So he'll talk about the path of renunciation and the path of action, how they both lead to the Supreme if they're practiced properly, right? But those who are wise, the sages, they say that the path of practical action, Nishkama Karma, hmm, that is superior. Hmm. Uh, and all the this Nishkama Karma, detached action, should be practiced on the platform of soul. So all this will come. How the person who is self-realized soul, how does he look at this world, right? How does he regard the living beings, the non-living beings? All this will come in the fifth chapter. So for the fifth chapter, we have an acronym that we will take, and that's how we will discuss the fifth chapter. Let me share the screen with all of you. Are you able to see the screen? See the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So the chapter 5 will have the acronym as STEP, STEP, right? And this chapter will end with the very famous verse from of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shantim Richati. The famous peace formula verse it is called as. What's the formula for peace? Shanti. Krishna will give that at the end of the fifth chapter. Okay. So, in the first verse, Arjuna once again puts forth this question: Sannyasa or Karma Yoga? I should become detached, or I should perform action. What is good for me? अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितं. Sunischitam, you tell me for sure. I have this doubt, Shamsashi. What is that? Sannyasam, karmanam, huh? Between sannyasa and between karma, between renunciation or detachment and action, which is better, which is higher? Yat Shreya Etayor, between the two, what should be done? Right? So, why is such a question Arjuna is asking? Like I had mentioned to you, Arjuna will take the position of a sadhaka, a practitioner. He's not like that. Arjuna is a very, very qualified person, right? So, in terms of his character, right? In terms of competence, in terms of his devotion, right? Character-wise, Arjuna, when he was in the Swarga, Krishna had asked Arjuna, go and collect best of the weapons from the best of the Devatas. So Arjuna went to Indra, and in Swarga, Urvashi proposed Arjuna, and Arjuna declined, saying, "You are like a mother to me." And Urvashi said, "All these things are do not, they are not part of the equation here in Swarga. No problem here." And Indra, his father, also was saying, "Yeah, no problem." But Arjuna held on. No, I cannot accept your proposal. His character, right? Then you find his competence. Everybody in the battlefield here knows. Till the time Arjuna is standing here, right, we cannot win the war. Arjuna has already defeated everyone in the Kaurava army once at least. Everyone has tasted defeat by the hands of Arjuna, including Bhishma and Drona. And then his devotion. I, I had given you an example for his devotion when Arjuna and Duryodhan both were at Dwarka, both had arrived there to seek help from Krishna. And Krishna gave the option, Arjuna, either me alone who will not fight, that's my vow, I am not going to lift a weapon in the war, or my entire army. Arjuna's devotion was such, he said, Krishna, I want you. I don't want your army. I want your shelter. So, character, competence, devotion, super class. And that's why Krishna chose Arjuna to play the role of somebody who is in trouble and is inquiring. Now, again, people ask this question. Third chapter, first verse, same thing was asked. Why is he repeating it again? He's repeating it for all of us. Because you'll find, people will suddenly feel sometimes spiritual. They feel spiritual. They don't have much to back it up with. Suddenly some inspiration comes spiritual and they start thinking, oh, world is temporary. What is good for God? What is there in it? I better give it up. I don't like, I'll give you one example. One time, one person in the temple came to the temple and he somehow caught me and he was saying, what do you guys teach here in ISKCON? Your Bhagavad Gita, does it teach people that, you should give up family and go away and not take responsibility? I said, no, 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 nobody teaches that. He said, this guy who would come to the temple, he got this Gita, he was reading for himself, and suddenly he feels, this renunciation. I have got nothing to do and take with family, and I have got nothing to do and take with all these duties. These are all temporary. What happens? Sudden pendulum swing happens. From a lot of sense gratification life, suddenly they feel spiritual and they go to another renunciation. And then when they are there, again the world looks very attractive. And again they come to the world. Like the story is that the monk who sold a Ferrari, that famous book. When this guy was a monk, Right? He was in the, you know, in Thailand jungles, mostly Thai, if I'm not wrong. And in the jungle, some British tourists were also, going around some expedition, and they had their British world radio, and they were listening to some song, very famous pop song. And this guy who is in the Thai jungles doing his meditation there, heard of this song which he liked in his youth or in his college days, and he came to these British tourists, spoke to them, and then came back to America along with them. So a lot of detachment, but the sense gratification, the desire for sense enjoyment pulls them back. So one extreme is sense enjoyment. Then another extreme of the pendulum is detachment. And they keep on hovering in between. So sannyasa karmanam, because this happens for at the initial stage for a practice for a beginner, one may go through this the stage of swinging stage. Without guidance, one may do this, one may commit these mistakes or have this samshasi, may have this doubt. That's why Arjuna is asking this question. What is Krishna's recommendation? One should have spirit of renunciation while performing work. Sannyasa in karma, not sannyas of karma. You don't, you should not have, you should not renounce the work, but you should have a renounced spirit while working. And why is Krishna saying this? Krishna says this because if one renounces suddenly, out of an inspiration, but the heart is not yet pure. The heart still has a lot of material desires. That renunciation does not last. Because if the heart is still craving for some material desires, then meditation will not happen. To sit peacefully for meditation, one must have given up all worldly desires from within, not just externally. So Krishna will recommend that you perform, you be a you perform your work with a renounced spirit. Don't give up the work itself. So Krishna will say, thus karma is superior to jnana in nishkama karma. You can put that there especially. Nishkama karma is superior to jnana. Right? And this is the entire explanation. In the whole chapter, this is what is going to. So Krishna says karma yoga and sannyas are same. That is fourth and fifth verse. Sankhya yoga prithak balaha. Childish opinions, Krishna says. They think they are different. Sankhya and karma, they are different. No, they are not different. Na panditaha. Those who are not intelligent say like that. Oh, they are different paths. Ekam apya astitaha samyak ubhayor vindate phalam. Both renunciation and action, both are good, Krishna says. Both will give the result. But at the beginning stage, Nishkama karma is always best. Later stage, Nishkama karma is best that you would, so that you will set an example for those, right, for others. So Krishna, go in the entire Gita, he's more focused on perform Nishkama karma, purify your heart. Don't just suddenly renounce. A mere renunciation is difficult, and Krishna says even distressful. If Nishkama ayogataha. So there's Sankhya Yoga. What is Sankhya Yoga? Sankhya Yoga means, okay, I look at the material world and I see which are the basic elements here. Okay? The five working senses, the five knowledge acquiring senses, right? And I go on to the five elements, gross elements, three subtle elements. I keep on counting, and ultimately I come, and then there is Atma. Everything else is just a combination of it, which generally bewilders the soul. Like my hand is on a table now. Is it a wood? Is it wood? Or is it table? Is it some screws, wood, or a table? It's just nomenclature that we give to. That's a door, that's a wall. But if we go to at a deeper level, we only see, oh, there is some sand, some cement. If somebody looks at a body, one can say it's just some blood, mucus, bile, stool, urine. That's all. It's a bag of it. But when everything comes together, oh, then it looks very attractive. Right? One time, Srila Prabhupada was at an airport, and many devotees were there who had come to see him off. So while Prabhupada was sitting on a chair, devotees looking at him, Prabhupada was speaking. But one devotee, what happened? He was looking behind Prabhupada. And when this devotee was looking behind, Prabhupada happened to notice that he is not looking at me, but somebody behind. And Prabhupada saw that behind Prabhupada was one air hostess, a young air hostess who was walking past. And this devotee was looking at her. And then Prabhupada looked at this devotee. And then this devotee looked at Prabhupada. He understood. Prabhupada caught me. Right? Prabhupada caught me bad. And Prabhupada just said to this devotee, isn't she beautiful? And this, yes, Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said, if the part and parcel of Krishna can be so beautiful, imagine how Krishna must be beautiful. One soul, the presence of the soul makes that body look beautiful. As soon as the soul leaves, where was the beauty? God, that soul is just part and parcel of Krishna. That's why everyone is attracted to God. Everyone is attracted to Krishna. Krishna is all beautiful. Sarva akarshati iti Krishna. So those who are Sankhya Yoga practitioners, they will come to understand where is any charm in this world. If there is any charm, it is in the spirit, not in the matter. So they will renounce the world. I've got nothing to give and take with the world. Their knowledge, their Sankhya brings them to the analytical study of body and soul. Oh, this material world is a temporary place. Everyone, all of us, will live in this body for a temporary time. This material world will remain. Like somebody will say, I love winters. Don't worry, it will not last. Temporary. Summer will come. Oh, summers, we'll party, we'll have a good time. Don't, don't, winters will come. Everything is temporary about this world. This one comes by analytical study and one develops detachment from this world. Like sometimes you'll find people, when somebody very near and dear one dies, leaves body, and suddenly they get this detachment. What are we doing in this world? Why are we wasting time? What's the use of, you know, earn so much wealth and this house and everything? Nothing is going to go with me. And any moment I can die. A little shock in their life brings them to that conclusion. But it does not last for long. That's the Technically, in scriptures, it is called Shamshan Vairagya, the renunciation that comes by going to a graveyard. Suddenly you find, oh, life and death and what's going on? Why am I doing it? Right? This detachment should lead one to Krishna, lead one to God, which will be the last verse for this chapter. But what happens? The detachment is good at the beginning. To continue with that detachment, that's the test. Because while let's say somebody renounces suddenly, right? Out of some sentiment, one renounces, but the attraction for this world is not over. Like we find Vishwamitra, 60,000 years of meditation he was doing in the forest. He wanted to become a Brahma Rishi. And what happened? Indra understood, oh, this guy is getting a lot of spiritual power. He may want to take away my position. So Indra sent Menaka, right, the heavenly, lady, and when she came by, because the heart was not yet pure, was still craving for the worldly pleasure, Vishwamitra gave in, and that's how Shakuntala was born. So the example I'm giving, because if one is not yet prepared properly and purified, then renunciation could become risky. This is the reason Arjuna is asking this question. So Nishkama Karma Yoga, how does one practice Nishkama Karma Yoga? On the basis of perfect knowledge. It is not happening out of just sin. One engages in action, understanding I am not material body, I am spirit soul. I am the part and parcel of the Supreme. What is part meant to do? Part is meant to serve the whole. Prabhupada would give example. I have this hand. The hand is meant to serve the body. And specifically, the hand is meant to serve the belly. The eyes, or every part of the body is meant to serve the body. The part is meant to serve the. If I am part of God, part and parcel of God as Atma, soul, I am meant to serve, God. So I want to render service to God. Uh, and what will I do? I'll work in this world with a detached spirit. Hmm? So if these questions are asked to a Nishkama Karma Yogi, which Krishna wants us to become, who are you? I'm servant of God. Like Jesus said, I'm son of God. Like Muhammad said, I'm the messenger of God. They never said I am God. A Nishkama Karma Yogi will answer, I'm a servant of God, Krishna Das. What work do you do? The work allotted by God. What does it mean? I clearly know what is dharma, what is adharma, what is sinful, and I avoid sinful life. Right? Like uh, when this when that prostitute had come to Jesus, I want to surrender. I I I want to become your disciple. And Jesus said, I accept you. But to her also it was said, sin no more. Right? So the servant of God does work allotted by God. Means I know what is right work, I know what is wrong work, I avoid sinful activities. How do you do your work? I work hard with sincerity, dedication, and to the best of my ability, like Arjuna will fight the war now. And okay, you have performed action. The real stuff is renunciation is not of the action. What will you do with the results? I will offer it to God. Right? Because I'm a servant of God. I should not forget. By the time results come, I should not forget, oh, now what do you do with the result? I run away with the result. No, you don't run away. The servant should offer the result back to the master. So I hand it over to God. So if these questions we keep it, then that's a Nishkama Karma Yogi. Right? So all that is happening in Nishkama Karma Yoga is we are shifting our attitude from being a doer, right, doership attitude to a divine attitude. Hmm? So at the level of consciousness, one should not really, if the results come, I did it, I can only do it. Without me, it would not have happened. No, that's not. That's a wrong consciousness. Right? A Nishkama Karma Yogi will understand without God's sanction, even a blade of grass cannot move. So whatever I'm doing it because God is sanctioning it. Right? One understands, oh, this result has come is out of mercy of God. Otherwise, there are so many uncertainties in this world. There are so many factors that were against me. But if I've achieved something, it is God's grace. Remains humble. Right? Uh, one works as a faithful servant of God. One does not take credit for any work or results. clearly. Oh, I was, I was, I was used as an instrument by God. One remains and functions in this world as a representative of God. Right? Huh? So this is the consciousness of one who is a Nishkama Karma Yogi. If asked, what is the motivation for work for you? I want to purify my heart. Atma Shuddhi. It will come. I suppose it will come in the PPT. So one understands that the world is self-sufficient. The world will continue functioning even if I am there or not there. Big presidents, big kings were there. They were thinking, without me, the country will not go on. They die and things happen. Even without us, our family will continue. Even without us, our children will go on. Like there is once Acharya, one great spiritual teacher in the Sri Sampradaya line. His name is Sridhar Swami. This person, he already, you know, wanted to renounce. Very advanced soul, right? But his, a time came that somehow he had to get married. Somebody, I won't go into that story. Then his wife was pregnant. But what happened? The wife, while giving birth to the baby, the wife died. And now the baby is there. The wife has passed away. And he was thinking, what do I do? I have a baby, and the last rites of the wife have to be done. At that time, when he was thinking, what does God want of me now? One lizard egg, egg of a lizard, it fell on the ground, broke, and a baby lizard came out. And this baby lizard quickly, and there was an insect. This baby lizard stuck out its tongue and ate the insect. And Sridhar Swami thought, who gave the intelligence to this baby lizard? Mother did not teach. Then who gave the intelligence? This is how you catch your food. Sridhar Swami understood. I I will renounce and I'll serve God. This baby will be taken care of by God. And by the time he was thinking like this, one couple came at his door and said, we have been praying to get a baby, but we are not. We heard that your wife has passed away. Can we adopt your baby? He said, yes, please. And he renounced. So without us also, actually by our presence, there is more prevalent problems in this world. But our ego tells us, no, unless I would not be around, what will happen? This world will not move, nothing will happen. We should do our good work in this world, helping others, serving others, for purifying our hearts, to elevate our consciousness, to revive our spiritual nature, right? And understand, ultimately everything is in the hands of God. Like in India, there's a famous saying, "Jitni chabi bhari Ram ne, utna chale khilona." The toy moves on as much as the energy is put there inside. As soon as it is that energy is gone, the toy will not move anymore. So we are simply being engaged by God, simply being offered opportunities to serve for God's purpose in this world. This consciousness one should have. Till the time I'm allowed, I'll continue. The day I am told, okay, your life is finished, okay, no problem. I move on, take another life, but continue representing God in this world. Right? One should not think, oh, I am indispensable. Right? I am the one. I am the Hema. Something. Right? We simply are instruments. Right? Right? And if I don't agree to do it, oh, Krishna can it done through anybody. Right? Like we'll find in the 11th chapter, the verse will come. Krishna will actually tell Arjuna, either you get up and fight for my sake, and if you do not, I will get the same war fought by your younger brothers, and the result will be same. You become my instrument in this world. So a Nishkama Karma Yogi understands, I I'm an instrument in God's plan. Right? I'm not doing any big favor to God. One should not think, right? One should not be egocentric, feeling that, without my help, oh, God could not have done this. That's why, I'm here for all of you, right? So, any good work, a Nishkama Yogi understands, it is, all the credit goes to God. So, what is the practical application of all this discussion in the first 7 verses? One in knowledge understands one's incompatibility with material nature. I am spirit, I'm spirit soul, and first of all, I'm at a wrong place. This material world is not the place for me. The Atma is not supposed to be here. The Atma is supposed to be in the spiritual world. This world of matter doesn't, you know, this world of matter is an alien land for me as soul, right? And then there is a certain nature, swabhava that I've acquired, which is dirty, which looks for still attractions in this material world. This swabhava has to be purified to the point where the soul is only attracted to God. What do I do then? I don't just say that I'm quitting material world. No, you cannot quit it like that. Krishna wants you to purify your swabhava. So Atma Shuddhaye, one only acts for purification, unattached to material results. Right? It's not that one feels, oh, I've got this, I've earned something. Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada would say, Sukha or Dukkha. You get you get happiness or you get suffering in this world. I continue pursuing the spiritual path. Not that some trouble comes in life and I give up, like Arjuna is saying in the first chapter. I don't want to fight Krishna. No, continue. Whatever comes your way, this uh, material world will show different facets and I don't get affected by them. I continue doing my good work as a representative of God. Hmm? So Krishna says, Yoga Yukta, one who works with this intelligence, Yoga Yukta, Vishuddhatma, a purified soul, Vijitatma, Jitendriyaha, one who has controlled his senses. Right? You remember the second chapter, Krishna had given the example, like a tortoise. A tortoise knows when to, stick out its head, hands, and feet. As soon as it sees danger, boom, it can withdraw it back. So the Nishkama Karma Yogi will work in this world which can trap the soul, but the Nishkama Karma Yogi knows when to withdraw the senses. Sarva Bhutatma Kurvan Api Lipyate. Even if such a soul is performing actions, the results will not entangle this person. Doer, yet not doer, because the consciousness is very nice. Right? So now let's go to the next section. Having said that the Nishkama Karma Yogi is not the doer of actions, yet perform actions in this world, Krishna will explain that such a yogi acts for the sake of the Supreme Lord. So, for purification is one. Now, there's another famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, text 10, fifth chapter, text 10. Brahmanya adhaya karmani, Brahmanya, for the Supreme, for the sake of the Supreme, this yogi works. How? Sangam tyaktva, with detachment from results. And when one works like that, lipyatena sa papena, one will not get affected by sin. How? Krishna says, just as a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Padma patram ivambasa. Uh, one will become. So, why does a person who know that he is a spirit, soul, and not the body, and is thus detached, still perform work? First reason was for the sake of Atma Shuddhaye, for the pure, it will come again, for the sake of purification, for works for the satisfaction of Supreme. So text 11 seeks purification. Sangam Tyaktvatma Shuddhaye. Wonderful. What will happen by that? All this consciousness, proper consciousness, and working in a detached spirit. Krishna says one will experience shantim, apnoti naishtikim. Naishtiki shanti one will get. Unadulterated peace. Right? Like, in Delhi, in India, we have a Baha'i temple. It's a sect. Uh, it's a religious sect. They practice silence. And when you go to this huge Baha'i lotus temple, a huge, beautiful building, the whole architecture is like a lotus. When you go there, they will tell you, shh, maintain silence, don't talk. And what happens? A huge, maybe a stadium kind of a thing where 500 people can sit at a go. They all are made to sit, and they will give you a 5 minutes lecture, and they'll tell you how silence is supreme. Let us make everything silent. And then the exercise begins silent. But the minds are roaring inside. It does not you to experience silence. The children, make noise. Somebody is shouting, right? And after 5 minutes, they tell, please go and continue practicing at your home. How is it possible? Unless the if the till the mind till the time the mind is craving with material desires, the mind is there is a lot of noise in that mind. How will you experience peace? Krishna is saying, when one continues performing nishkama karma in this world, detached spirit, right? One works with detached spirit, then naishtiki shanti, unadulterated peace will come. Hmm. So, uh, okay, let's go to the second acronym. We go to the next stage, the next section of the chapters. So, step T is three kinds of doers in this world. So, nishkama karma. So, three doers. Okay. Which are the three doers? Krishna says the soul, the material nature, and God. The soul initiates action. The soul desires. That is all that we can do. Rest is done by the. So we are soul. Rest is. So the soul is initiator. The material nature is facilitator. Like, the hands have to be used. The legs have to. Right? They, as Atma, I have no connection with hands and legs. They're all part of material nature. Some things of this world have to be used, all material nature. That material nature facilitates. And yet, you need supreme sanction. Without the sanction of the supreme, you can't do anything. The soul, the material nature, and the Lord. Right? Like, okay. So in India, a lot of construction is happening now. They are saying India is growing. So much construction all around. So yesterday night, I reached from Mumbai to Pune. I traveled from Mumbai. I reached Pune, where I am now, and along the freeway, the expressway. So there was nothing, all greenery before. Nobody, all these years, I did not see any work. But suddenly, so much construction is happening. Who initiated? The soul desired. Without that, material nature was there. God is always there, right? But nobody desired as soul to begin something there. The soul initiates. Now, as soul, let's say I initiate, I desire, but if my hands and legs don't cooperate, then, right? Like sometimes entire construction, activity has to be dropped because there is so much water below the ground. They are not able to make a foundation only. So you want to do something, but right, like, sometimes you'll find old people, right? They they the soul wants to do something, the body does not cooperate now. So the material nature has to facilitate. The soul is the initiator, material nature is there, but then God is not sanctioning. Nothing happens. The destiny is not there. So, three kinds of doers: the soul, the material nature, the Lord. So, what happens? Our ignorance bewilders us to think, oh, there is no material nature, there is no Lord. I am the one, whatever I want will happen. Whatever I decide takes place. Right? So, this diagram in front of you will clarify it further. So, go to your left side of the screen, the soul. Focus on the jiva, the soul desires. Then see the arrow goes to the super soul, Paramatma in the heart. So Paramatma verifies and sanctions. This desire should get fulfilled or not. Oh, yes, the punya is there, the piety is there. Okay, give it. Yes, desire is proper. Okay, give it. Desire is improper, but this guy really wants it. So Paramatma verifies and sanctions. Actually, who does it? Then Paramatma instructs the material nature, the three modes. Huh? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna, right, suddenly start activating to fulfill the jiva's desire. Again, this diagram should be kept in mind if you want to understand the fifth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Who is the doer? The jiva is only desiring, that's all. Sanctioner is somebody else, that's God, and the material nature is functioning, doing the work. Hmm? So, one time, Muhammad Ali, the world heavyweight boxing champion, there was a time when he was saying, oh, I am the greatest. And then when he got Parkinson's disease, this guy could not even lift a cup of coffee, could not even lit the torch, Olympic torch. Right? What happened? Right? So when we think I'm in control of everyone and everything, I can get what I want, I can beat any rival. I'll work 18 hours a shift, and I'll take two jobs, three jobs. I'll work there like that, and I will get it done. What happens? Where does such a thought process and society take us to? Look at India. Teen suicide rates have tripled in past 25 years. I am the doer. Then all stress, depression, everything comes in, right? Like, the husbands generally think, oh, I am the master of this house. Whatever I want will happen in this house. And the wife smiles. You can only talk. I know ultimately who has the keys and who is the sanctioner here. Right? So the stress, the depression, right? The strife, right? And suicide, all this. Because I think I am the doer. I don't understand. There is some sanctioner God. There is some material nature which facilitates. Now Krishna takes us to the next. Okay. Shantim apnoti kilbisham. Krishna has already spoken about Shanti, but Krishna talks now about that Nishkama Karma Yogi who has perfected it, is doing detached work. How does that person look at this world? What is the vision? So, equal vision, STEP, STEP, E stands for equal vision. So, Krishna says a yogi can attain liberation by fixing his mind on the Supreme Lord. That involves one has to tolerate temptations from the senses and the mind, and one has to redirect, one's pleasure-seeking propensity from matter to spirit, right? Or from, our consciousness is running outwards. We have to pull it inwards. We have to bring it, right? So Krishna says, when we focus on Krishna, it leads to liberation. Tad buddhayastadaatmanas tannishthas tatparayanaha gachanti apunaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. By the fire of knowledge, all the impurities of the heart have burnt off now. Right? Like a kid who is focused on playing, This guy is looking outside the window towards the playground. No matter how much teacher is teaching, nothing will go in because the heart is somewhere else. The heart is not at, because similarly for a yogi, for a spiritual practitioner, if the heart is full of material desires, how will knowledge sit in? How will peace, how will one experience peace until the time material desires are there? That's why Krishna is saying, engage in nishkama karma, in detached spirit, as a representative of God, focusing always on God, offering results to God. Slowly, when the heart gets purified, the knowledge that will awaken, the transcendent knowledge, as the fourth chapter, when it awakens, what will happen? One, one becomes purified, completely purified. Hmm? So, what should be the vision for looking at this world? God is there, I am there, material nature is there, and there are so many souls around me. Right? Generally, people say, that's my wife, that's my husband, that's my son, that's enemy, that's a friend, that's my competitor. See what, this is not the how a Nishkama Karma Yogi will look at this world. A Nishkama Karma Yogi will Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Svapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. A Pandita, an intelligent man, a learned man, one who has got, one who is on the path of purification will see Vidya Vinaya. By the strength of one's knowledge and humility, Krishna says Vinaya. Very important. Knowledge and humility go together. Krishna says Sampanne, one who is one who is full with knowledge and full in humility. If that guy sees a Brahmana, a cow, or an elephant, a dog, or a dog eater, all he sees them equally, Samadarshinaha, because he sees the soul within everyone. The external actions do not bewilder, the external appearance do not bewilder this person anymore. Right? And when one comes to this level of vision, right, then one conquers birth and death. Then Arjuna suddenly asks, can you tell me the symptoms of this person once again? So you see, second chapter, Samadhi, one who has attained Samadhi, symptoms were asked. So Arjuna is very quick to put many places questions like this. Can you tell me the symptom? Can you tell me the symptom of this person that you just mentioned? In the 12th chapter, Krishna will talk about devotee. And Arjuna will once again, can you tell me the symptom of a devotee? So 12.13 to 12.20 is again a section where Krishna has to explain, oh, a devotee is like this, right? A bhakti yogi is like this. Hmm? So what are the symptoms? यही सब स्पर्श जा भोगा दुखयो नय एवते आद्य अंतवंत कौंतेय न तेषु रमते बुधाः. Very beautiful, very important verse for memorization. यही संस्पर्श जा भोगा. Sparsh means touch. Whenever the senses come in contact with the sense objects, actually we are running behind these sense objects. Whole life we are only running behind sense objects. Krishna is saying, as soon as they come in contact, understand misery has begun. So let's say I want a latest iPhone and I see the advertisement and I see it in somebody else's hand and I see it in the, shop window and I feel I should have it. I should have it. I'll be happy. I'll be happy if I have it. And I desire it. I plan for it. How I'll get it. But when does the misery begin? As soon as you have it. You pay for it and the mobile phone comes in your hand. I should not drop it. Nobody should steal it. I should not lose it. All Krishna says a yogi comes to the understanding the contact of senses and sense objects only give illusory pleasure. The pleasure is only in the mind, in thinking of it. Actually, there is no pleasure. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaji, the secondary creator of this world, he says, God is the first creator, and whatever intelligence was given to me, I did the secondary detailed creation. And he says there is only one place there, if there is pleasure, and that pleasure is binding, it's all the more causes bondage in this world. Brahmaji says that's in the, the attraction between man and woman. There's a little there, but it causes such bondage, such attachment to this world, and such bondage. So Krishna is saying, understand. The more, it's like saying the the a spider has created its web, and the insect is caught in this web. And now the insect thinks the more I move around, I'll try my by my efforts and I'll get free. No, the web is designed in a manner that the insect, the more the insect or the fly tries, the more it gets caught. So Krishna says, so dukkha yonaya, it's like saying when a man and woman unite, uh, the pregnancy or the embryo gets formed, right? So Krishna says when the senses and sense objects come in contact, misery will take birth now. When? Wait. Initially, you'll not understand. Very soon, in time, like man and woman will unite in 9 months, the baby will appear. Dukkha yonaya, Krishna is saying, understand, misery is the result of it. You won't see it at the beginning. At the beginning, people will throw parties. Oh, I got it. I did this. And then, right? Like, okay. And what is the misery? Krishna explains Adi and Anta. We only want happiness, but we forget that it will end one day. There's a beginning and an end. There's a manufacturing date and there's an expiry date. But we were not looking for that expiry. We only look for happiness, but we forget the other side of the coin. The flip side is the misery. Where there is birth, there is death. Are we ready to accept? No, we are generally not. Na teshu ramate buddha. Buddha is intelligent. Those who have become buddha by nishkama karma practice, you will see what is the symptom. The first symptom Krishna says is they understand sense enjoyment is ultimately distressful. The desire to enjoy senses is the enemy of the soul. Na teshu ramate buddha. But what is the problem? How many times? How many times? Okay, somebody cannot control eating sweets, and the blood sugar shoots up, and the doctor will tell, don't eat sugar of any kind, you will die. Suddenly, oh really? Oh, death? No, no, no! I'll not eat. I'll not eat. But the craving still continues. The urge from within still continues. What to do? Krishna is saying, be very careful. Senses and sense objects cause trouble ultimately. So Krishna advises, the first thing Krishna says is learn to tolerate. Control yourself. Control the urges. Tolerate. Till when? Prak sharir vimokshanat. Till the point of death. Till the point the soul will remain in the body. Tolerate these urges of the senses. The senses will demand. Do not give in to it. How much to give in? As much required to keep the body and soul together, as much required as service to God, nothing more than that, right? That's why this is simple living, high thinking. But what has happened today? Simply living and hardly thinking. Right? People are simply living, but there is no time to think. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's the purpose of life? Right? Kama, Krodha, Udbhavam, Vegam. There'll be a Vega, urge from within, lust, anger. Aha, an advanced yogi means one who knows when to control. So Hanuman also used his anger to burn the entire Lanka, but that was done as a service to Lord Ram, not for his own purpose. But even after, so, but anger is so dangerous. After Hanuman burned the entire Lanka and he jumped on the other side, he came to India, he came back to this side of India. Then he realized, oh, what did I do? Big mistake. What was Hanuman's mistake? He realized, I have burned the whole Lanka, but Sita is still there. I just hope nothing happens to Sita. So this kama, krodha, so tolerating these agitations, right? And what should do? One should do. One continues engaging in spiritual activities to develop a higher taste. Right? Like when one has higher taste, one will not give in to the lower one. Like Prabhupada would give example. If somebody gives you nice halwa to eat, then one will not run behind stool. Similarly, the worldly enjoyments remain attractive till the time we develop taste, right, for chanting the names of God. We develop taste for serving God, right? Like, you know, people come to ISKCON and they will say, oh, what amazing prasad. I've never eaten anything like this, never had anything like this. Say that same rice and same food, right? No, no, it's not same. They will not say we are going to serve food. They will always say we are serving prasad. That prasad is offered to God, offered to Krishna. And that's a higher taste. Okay. Krishna says one delights inwardly. Anta sukha, antar aramas. The world is, everyone in the world is running behind accomplishments. This yogi sits peacefully. He's enjoying within, right? One is very serious in one's sadhana, right? Like you'll find ISKCON devotees, they will chant Hare Krishna on their beads with their bag. Every morning they wake up and they'll chant 16 very serious for liberation. Hmm? So, and Krishna says in the last two verses, these qualifications are very rare, difficult to achieve. Millions and millions, running behind Maya, the objects of this world. But to come to this conclusion, let everyone go where they want to. I'll peacefully sit and chant. I'll peacefully sit and think as soul, where am I going? Right? What is my consciousness? Right? Okay. Uh, then Krishna talks about one who has performed Nishkama Karma, knowledge will awaken, and with knowledge, one will perform meditation. So you understand this, like this series. Nishkama Karma will bring peace, Shanti. Shanti is because no more material desires are distracting this person. Nishkama Karma has brought peace. In a peaceful life, knowledge, and because of knowledge, one will understand whom to meditate on with the mind. One will say, yes, I know who is the object of meditation. Hmm? Uh, Last part, which is the last verse of this chapter, step P stands for one has attained peace. Krishna says this will happen. Peace formula verse, we call it 5.29. भोक्तारम यज्ञ तपसाम सर्वलोक महेश्वरम सुहृदम सर्वभूतानाम ज्ञात्वा माम शांतिम रिच्छति. See, shantim, peace. How will one attain peace? Krishna says ज्ञात्वा mam, one who understands Krishna like this. Imagine, just by understanding Krishna, oh really, Krishna is this, huh? Shantim, you'll attain peace. What is that? Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. Who is the enjoyer? Krishna says, if you understand, Krishna is the enjoyer of everything. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Who is the controller? Mahesh Ishvara. Sarvaloka. Krishna is the Ishvara. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Who is the most dear friend, right, of everyone? Krishna is the dear friend. Krishna, if you come to this realization, oh, Krishna is everything. Krishna is the enjoyer. Krishna is the controller. Krishna is heart to heart friend of everyone. Shanti mrichati. But we do not have Shanti in our life because we want to take these three positions. I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, and I will do good for others. Till the time we are competing with Krishna, no Shanti, no peace. As soon as we come to the understanding, oh, if somebody comes to Kapil Prabhu and says, please help me. And Kapil Prabhu says, yes, Krishna can help all of us. Let me become a representative of Krishna to you and tell you what Krishna wants to say us. Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita. We offer Krishna to everyone. Right? Krishna is the real friend of everyone. Krishna is the Lord of everything. Krishna is the enjoyer. As much as we are working with this consciousness, Krishna says very quickly, Shantim Richati. One will attain peace in this world. So, how to stay in the world? 5.1 to 12. Don't unnecessarily renounce or detach. Perform Nishkama Karma, detached action. How? The three doers, the soul, the material energy, and God, who is the sanctioner. The initiator, the facilitator, and the sanctioner. We discussed that. One will come to the one will practice it with an equal vision in this world, and ultimately the peace formula, understanding Krishna to be the controller, the enjoyer, and the friend of all. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? You have any clarifications? I could take them. So when one has attained Shanti in peace, then meditation can happen. So in the next chapter, sixth chapter, you'll find Krishna talking about, because Arjuna will ask about mind, meditation, what to meditate on. All that will come in the sixth chapter. Next week, I would be, no, I think next week our session can happen. The week after that, I'm in Ayodhya. I'll see if I get a good broadband connection there, then I will give the session. Otherwise, I'll request somebody to give that particular session. But next week we'll have. Yes. Shamanta Kaushik, please go ahead.
Kaushik Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
No, no, no. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me? Prabhuji, I always live in an assumption that Krishna doesn't interfere in our actions, or like basically I desire and the material nature respond to it. It's not that every desire that every one of the living being in this world Krishna can sanction.
That means you are thinking you are the controller of the material nature? Are
No,
you sure?
I'm not thinking like I'm the control. I feel like Krishna cannot. Krishna is not sanctioning every actions of what we are thinking. Is my assumption. I'm wrong here, but it's a question
So
I'm asking. Is it so?
Kaushik Pro, in Canada, can you name one person because of which the whole Canada is working? One guy can make the country stop, and one guy can make change anything in that country. Who's that? Tell me. The president. One stroke of a pen and Trudeau told entire Canada is under lockdown. Gone. So what? This guy could do this much power in the hands of president. Yes, lockdown. Nobody will come out of the houses now. The whole traffic stops, everything. Oh, change these things. You see, but Now, everything is done by the president means president gets it done through many of his ministers, secretaries, and everything, right? So
Mhm.
similarly, Krishna, everything is under control of Krishna.
Mm.
Now, Krishna will get it done through the devatas. Krishna will, as Paramatma sitting in our heart, he sanctions. So one should not think that God has to get into each person's life. He can do everything through his energies, right? His energies, he has so many energies which are working. Like, you know, if you go to Gaurav Prabhu and you request him something, he will say, "Don't worry, I'll tell my secretary, he'll do it. Don't worry. Oh, ho jayega. It will happen. Don't worry." See, you won't exert. No, I don't have to. No, I'll get it done. You want something done in India? I'll get it done. Don't worry. Like devotees in US will call me, "Prabhuji, we are coming to Mayapur. Can you get some bookings for us?" And I'm like, "Oh, ho jayega. Tension mat lo." So, you will go. No, I don't need to go. I have people whom I can tell they will do, and things will happen. If we can do this, right? Sometimes, person will say, "Oh, you go and tell my name." Just go and tell my name. Things will happen. Don't worry.
Mm.
Powerful guy, huh? इसका नाम चलता है भाई. If it can happen with us, what about God,
Mm. Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that attached question in that is, wh- why would uh, why would also Krishna sanction some bad desires? He knows it's not good
Yeah.
for the soul. That why can't he
Hmm.
reject it with his power?
He will generally tell you first, no, this is bad. Even, you will find the thieves will steal in the night. They know I'll get caught. It is wrong. Should not be done. They will find the, the time where they can do it in hiding, where they'll, so everybody gets to know from heart, no, this is not good. You get indication for it from Paramatma. It's not that, but when it's like, I'll give an example. Srila Prabhupada, when he was small boy, Prabhupada said, I would like to put my finger into the moving fan, table fan. And my father would stop me, don't do it. No, don't do it. But I would cry, no, I would insist. And what did my father do? One time he switched off the fan. In India, we have switches, right? Next to we have something. Switch. Okay, right? This his father switched off the fan, and now the fan was rotating little at low speed. And the father told him, "Now put your finger." And he could not believe, what? You would stop me all the time. Now you're asking me to put my finger. Yeah, try. He said, Prabhupada said, when I put my finger into the fan, moving fan, which was at low speed, it hit my finger. It struck my finger, and I was like hurt. Oh! And my father simply asked me, will you put your finger in the fan again, moving fan?" No, I don't want to. I don't want to. So the father did not allow him to put his finger in a fast moving fan, but reduced the speed and then said, "Try now." Right? So Prabhupada says, similarly, God tries everything with us. Don't do it. Not good for you. And okay, try it. If you're insisting so bad, I allow you. But then when one sees the result of it, the suffering that comes, one says, okay, now I'll accept. So लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते in Hindi they say. Right? Sometimes we have to go through suffering. The Atma goes through the suffering and then only it understands this world is not a fit place for a gentleman. This is not a place for a gentleman. This world has to be given up and I have to go to Vaikuntha. Right? Like, Bhaktisan Thakur would tell a story, right? One time there was a son-in-law. Okay. One father-in-law. Okay. One father had three daughters. All the three were married. There was some function in the home. So the three daughters, along with their three husbands, son-in-laws, they came. The elder one, the middle one, the younger one. And the function happened. They came 1 week before. And the D-Day, the function happened. And after 1 week got over. And none of these, families, the daughters and their husbands and their children, they are not going. And the father was worried. What is this? They're stuck here. They don't want to go only. And the father went to the eldest son and said, what do I do? They're not going back to their home. They're staying here. And the eldest son said, see, you are feeding them, food made in you are feeding the best preparations made in ghee. Why will they go? Peacefully, everything is coming, you are working and you are providing, and why should they go? So, father, what do I do? Stop cooking, very nice items, the preparations, and especially stop the ghee. And as soon as the quality of food went down, the eldest of the son-in-law said, what is this? This is, below my dignity. I cannot eat like this. What do they? I don't want to live here. I'm going. The eldest one went away. Then the middle one, the son-in-law. Again, this guy, other two were stuck. They were not going. And the father went to the son and said, what do I do now? He said, stop putting salt in the food. And when the salt was no more put, the middle one, he left. Oh, this is bejjati. Right? I cannot stay here. He went away. And the third one is not ready to budge only. He's no matter what is given, sukha chapati, dry this, that, he's still there. And and the father went to the son and said, what do I do with this last guy? He doesn't move only. Whatever is fed, he's ready to eat. And the son took out a thick bamboo stick. He said, take it in hand and you beat this fellow, then only this guy will move away. And the father did that. And then he said, this is below me. I cannot live in a house where they are beating me. Bhakti Sant Thakur would say, Krishna tries all the means for the soul to go back home, back to God. Niklo yahan se, get out. But we all remain stuck. But it's a good place, right? My house is good, my car is nice, and all. But then birth, old age, disease, and death. And Krishna has to beat us. Get out. Good intelligence through scriptures, through sadhus. All means Krishna is trying. But nothing happens than the beating only. लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. Okay, Kaushik, thank you. Next to anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Firstly, I would like to thank you with gratitude because yesterday I had the same question. I'm in Bangalore right now, so I went to this Narasimha temple and I went upstairs and then I was in front of Gaurnitai, but my
Mhm.
attention was more scattered. I was not able to concentrate more on Madhav, and I was like, "What is this happening in Calgary? It's all the attention is on him." And today you explained it to us like pendulum, our minds move. Thank you so much for that. Now, my question is, Prabhuji, I want to learn more about japa. Is it right to speak loudly when we do the chanting, or can we do it in the mind? What is the proper way of it?
Okay. So Srila Prabhupada told us that the meditation in terms of chanting at the initial stage has to be with our lower lip should move. See, try to chant Hare Krishna, say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So your lower lip should move and you should be able to hear. The meditation is on the sound, right? And when the heart becomes purified, then one goes to the next level. Only lips are moving. And even higher level than that is just chanting in the mind. There are three stages to chanting. But the chanting initially has to be done, where we can hear. And this is still called japa. And there is something called kirtan. Right? You'll find in the temple when you come, they will take a mridanga and kartal and they will do kirtan. That kirtan is all the more powerful, way of purifying one's heart. The more you do kirtan, the better your japa will become.
Mhm.
Sachinanand Swami, who is a Prabhupada disciple, known for his, chanting seminars and all, in one seminar he says, 12 minutes of kirtan, good absorbing kirtan, is equivalent to 2 hours of chanting, he says. And he got it from some psychology study. Somebody did this study on devotees. in some university. Somebody did PhD on this, and that's the result they got. 12 minutes of kirtan is equal to 2 hours of meditative chanting, he says. So yes, kirtan is very powerful. Lord Chaitanya came to give us this Sankirtan. Come together and chant kirtan. And then you can go and chant japa all the more nicely. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Sridhar.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is on this Jiva, Paramatma, and the three modes, that slide.
Prakriti.
So, is there any role of this three modes in the desire stage? Like you mentioned how they are facilitating the desires, but are they also leading to the desires?
Yes. So inclination to enjoy is there, but if the facility is not there, what's the use? Like sometimes people, somebody may be poor. The desire, one will see so many things in the mall, but I don't have money to pay for it. So one will be peaceful. But the desire is there. Let's say I have the desire, I have the money, but I am in some forest. Oh, what, there is nothing. What do I enjoy? I be peaceful, right? But the desire is there and the facility is there. The facility, if it's around, then one wants to enjoy. It brings the desire inside, even if it was not there. So the three modes can act in a way to inspire a desire to enjoy that particular object. A general desire to enjoy is there in everyone. Somebody, it's like saying, for me, if somebody brings, puts some, let's say, liquor in front of me, and I'm like, it doesn't create the desire. I want, let's say, enjoyment. I want enjoyment, but I don't want, I can never get a desire to, enjoy liquor. But somebody brings a gulab jamun, and I will, now I would like to have it. Like this time when I was returning from US to India, this air hostess, one of the air hostesses, she was so concerned for me that I was not eating anything that they were serving. She came to me and said, uh, at least take red wine. And I was like, red wine? Why are you offering me red wine? And I said, no, I don't want it. So she thought, maybe I don't prefer red wine. And she again came after half an hour, said, at least take white wine. And I was like, I don't know, understand what is red and white and this and that, and I don't want it. And she was like, everybody is eating, you have paid for it. Why are you not eating? I said, I don't want to eat these things. I have my prasad. I'm carrying something. I'll eat that in my travel. I don't. She said, how can you do this? You don't feel like it. I said, no, I don't feel like eating all this. What is happening? It's not that I don't want to enjoy, right? The desire is there. Even if all the arrangement is there, oh, it does not come in now. But material nature can sometimes act in such, ways that good yogis get trapped. Those of you who have been to Badrinath in India, this beautiful spiritual place in the hills in the northern India, you have to climb at least, good 15-20 kilometers by your car you can go now. But just before you reach Badrinath, there are a lot of waterfalls. And one of the last waterfall, the name is Yogi Falls. The Yogi Falls, right? Material nature can create such desire sometimes because the desire to enjoy is there. A particular combination of material elements comes in front. Right? It's like the male cockroach will always get attracted to the female cockroach. The male cockroach will not get attracted to a Miss Universe. See what the three gunas are doing? Atma is same. In the cockroach body, Atma is there. In the human body, Atma is there. But the way material nature programs it. So we have to be very. Why would yogis go to forest? The distraction will be less, right? The distraction will be less. Why do we come to temple and chant Hare Krishna at our homes? Our attachments are very strong. This one I bought in during that Christmas year. This sofa I like, and this television. Yesterday I saw something on this, and this husband of mine, foolish guy. I don't know why did I marry him. You know, 40 years ago. My wrong decision. All that comes up. But when you go to temple, that entire environment there and this, it just inspires you to chant nicely, right? So visiting the temple brings that spiritual vibrations within. Why? Because that ambience affects me. So yes, material nature can inspire desire, right? Okay. Let us take a last question for today. Robin, you have a question?
Uh, yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
I was just asking, like, as the thief or a fraud person, he might get satisfy his ego to do some wrong deed temporarily on that moment,
Mhm.
but it can also affect the uh, a positive person as well. So you got my point. I mean,
No.
I mean, for example, if somebody steal anybody's stuff, like your stuff or mine stuff, and he might get benefit temporarily on that moment, but we suffer.
Mhm.
Let's say we
Okay.
he lost our cell phone, like he steal our cell phone, he steal our ID or any material
Okay,
thing.
I will suffer because something that belonged to me was essential for my living has been taken away. That's why I suffer. Okay.
I mean the the demonic nature person get benefit temporarily from that moment, but we suffer
Okay.
because of him.
Okay. Okay.
That's my question. Like, this is not
So
our
why does
fault.
that happen?
Yeah.
No, no, no. It's not your fault.
Mhm.
You must have taken somebody else's. That's
In
why it is taken from you.
a previous life or something like that.
It's simple karma. It's simple
Mhm.
karma. Karma cafe. You get
Mhm.
served what you ordered.
Mhm.
Your order is only served to you. So whatever happens in my life, we have to understand it's simply the ball, what do you call it? Bouncing back at you. You threw the ball at the wall, and the ball comes back to you. So
Mhm.
I'm just reaping the reaction of my past work. What do? I can complicate it further by reacting in a wrong way. But if I react in a way that my reaction only is positive and takes me closer to God, success.
And if we have the opportunity to punish that person, like legally or something like that, should we do that or not?
It's like saying if a postman comes to my house with a telegram which is giving me a sad news, something, should you beat the policeman? Should you beat the postman?
No.
If the Amazon delivery guy comes to you, with a faulty, product, you don't beat that guy. You just
No.
simply return it. You
Mhm.
simply return it, right? So anybody in your life bringing any situation, you should understand this guy is just a postman. He's a delivery guy. No
Mhm.
point, getting mad at this person. And what is this guy delivering? What I must have done. Like in India, so often they would say, if the son or the daughter, is ill behaved and bringing so much misery, they will say, oh, I must have done, this guy must have been my enemy in last life. Some things were remaining. That's why he has come as my daughter or son and giving me trouble now.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, I got it. Thank
I
you.
helplessly accept whatever that daughter or that son will do. My son and my daughter. Anybody else would have been there, I could have thrown that, kid outside. But I accepted, okay, mera beta, meri beta. Okay. Because you were supposed to suffer through this guy. Because you gave suffering last life to that person.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, let us stop for today. It's quite late. We have overshot from the time that was allotted to us, around half an hour. Uh, Thank you very much. Next week, when we meet, we go to the chapter, very beautiful chapter about mind and meditation, and many things will come there. That would be the sixth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, that is Dhyana Yoga. So we would have finished the first six chapters, and all of you must have been made aware by Gaurav that you will have to write an exam after the sixth chapter. It will be an MCQ kind of a paper which will come to you as a PDF. You simply write your answers and send it back to Gaurav. And then if you do that, you'll get a certificate for having studied the first six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. Then similarly, we continue between like 7 to 12, and then there'll be an exam, MCQ. And then from 13 to 18, then again. And this is an open book exam, MCQ, but open book. Your Bhagavad Gita is with you. And whatever we have discussed from there only, we'll ask some questions. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.